Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, collectors and Yakuza affiliates all over the world, welcome to Aussieverse. I hope that was respectful and I'm not going to get murdered now. This is Aussieverse and we are proudly sponsored by Comic Bookaroo. I am Omnibo, joined by the Sharif, the single issue Steve, and if I go to his Facebook page, novelist, comics writer, engineer, data scientist, and dipshit suburban dad, Jason Franks. How you going, brother?
I am really good, thank you, Bo.
We are very, very happy to have you back on the show. We had you last time for the matron, but today it is all about the Smiling Damned, the Yakuza Stories, baby. We're very, very excited about this one. I've already backed this. And I want to know more, man. Before we get into it, for people that did not watch the last show that you were on, please tell the world who you are, what you do, and your favorite color.
I'm Jason Franks. I'm dipshit suburban dad, novelist, comics writer. I'm the editor for The Matron and some other books for IPI Comics, so you've probably seen me in the background a few times. I probably best known in comics for The Six Smiths, and Left Hand Path, and I guess my previous Kickstarter book, which is called Go Man Go. I've been doing this for about 20 years, and my favorite color is black.
Yeah. You should feel honored. You're the first person I've asked whose favorite color it is. I don't know why. Like I said, I did a show at 3:30 a.m., so I'm running.
You got me on the one day I'm actually not wearing a black t-shirt. But it's dark blue and it's got Godzilla on it. So,
Godzilla! I've been really getting into Godzilla lately, man. It's a bad well to go down. There's so much Godzilla. We want to give a big shout out to our 4 lifers. G'day, Claudia. These are our people that do spend $1 or $2 every single month and help with Aussieverse's financials. They get into an Instagram, Facebook chat. They get to be on the show sometimes and other perks like that. Go check out the other YouTube channels with the logo next to them. They're all fantastic individuals, fantastic channels that even though they're all about comics, they're very different from each other. They're not like Aussieverse and we are not like them. So go check them out. If you want to support Aussieverse but don't want to spend a cent, then just subscribe to the channel. That's the best way you can support us. And like the videos, comment on the videos, share the videos, all that sort of jazz. And yeah, that's about it. All right, cool. So, Jason, Smiling Damned. What's going on with this one?
So I guess it's a second in a series of anthologies I've done, which is about villains. I love villains. I especially love making the villain the main character. So I did the first Smiling Damned a few years ago, just before COVID, and that book was about supervillains. And I had at the time the idea that I would do like more of these books with like each one would have a different theme. So this is number 2. This one is the Yakuza, Japanese gangsters. Here we are.
Steve, with a martial arts love that you have, where does the Yakuza fall into your line of martial arts?
You don't talk about the Yakuza. We should just stop the show now. No, it's it's worse. It's. I mean, obviously, there's probably some form of martial arts and stuff involved with the Yakuza, but it's all about organized crime and all that sort of stuff. So. Organised crime, tattoos, you name it. It's all part of that kind of thing that you don't really talk about.
Sure.
Drugs, smuggling, all of that.
Yeah. How many family members do you have in the Yakuza, Sharif?
Again, like Steve said, this is not the kind of stuff that we talk online.
All right, let's...
Hey, I like how you went straight to the Asian guy and you said, how many people have you got in your family?
Am I going to ask you?
Well, you never did, and I'll never tell.
I do have to say that usually when people give us their PDFs, I usually read them cover to cover so that I'm, ready for the interview and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not going to lie, man. I'm going to be honest. I read the first story only, and that's because I really, really dug it. And I'm like, nah, you know what? I know I'm going to get this soon because it's, Australian comics and things like that. I'm going to wait until I've got it physically and I've got the rest of it because the first story really blew me away, man.
Yeah, look, Christian Rue did an absolutely amazing job in rendering that. And, all of the stories are different. That one in particular is very much about, I guess, that kind of trade-off between the US and Japan and what influence that has on the Yakuza culture, because, I guess the stereotype of the Yakuza, right, is like that Elvis coif and the sunglasses, the black suit. It's a very like kind of westernized look that they have. They have this very like corporate hierarchy these days. But the Yakuza goes back hundreds of years, right? So that's kind of been the, post-war evolution of it. And a lot of the fiction about the Yakuza is often about like, the American occupation of Japan post-war, and, how American culture has kind of, I guess, infiltrated Japanese culture, and then what the Yakuza want to do about it. Because some of them are very kind of traditionalists, but also they have this outlaw nature, which I think comes very much from that side of things. So that first story is set probably about 10 years ago. So it's quite contemporary in terms of like, what's going on globally, and, with kind of modern day Japan. And then the other stories are set, at different periods.
Okay, let's have a look, shall we?
Yeah,
that's it.
I'll just swap this here for in case we get any comments. Why can't I move? There you go. All right. So, Smiling Damned, Yakuza Stories. Stories of the Yakuza set in 3 different eras. Prison breaks, gang war, and bloody revenge in this Japanese noir tradition. Let's have a look.
Great.
All right, beautiful. Oh, you're close. You're close to your goal.
Yeah. We're getting there, getting in striking distance of it now. You can tell I added a story after I set up the Kickstarter because there's 4 stories, not 3.
Ah.
I love how you've actually gone back and done some of the traditional stuff, mate, because when people think of Yakuza, they always think of the modern day stuff. So the fact that you've gone back into different eras in history, it's actually really cool.
Yeah, thank you. Like I went to Abashiri prison, which is where that historical story is set in like the 1890s. I actually went to the prison just as a tourist, and I went there with my wife, who's Japanese, and she's from that part of Japan. And we checked out the prison, and we were about to leave, and I was like, I have to do a story about this. I just want to go through everything again and take photos. So I've got photo reference. So my wife had to wait for me to spend another 45 minutes doing a speed run through the whole prison again to just get all the reference. So that's we've got the 1890 story. It's a little bit this way lies madness a little bit. Like I could have gone back further, but you've got to you got to limit yourself sometimes. But it was really interesting to look at what the Yakuza were like back then in the sort of Meiji era, where Japan was first starting to modernize, modern prisons, modern army.
How much patience did she have? Was she like, very supportive? You wanted to do your research, and then after an hour,
she was patient, but also afterwards she was like, "I'm really hungry. Let's go." So we're gonna then go and like find somewhere to eat.
Steve, Sharif, did you guys check it out?
I did have a look, mate. Yeah. It's violent.
To go through all the all three stories. And what threw me off initially was the first story didn't look complete, and then it went off to the second story in a different time setting. And the same thing happened again in the third story. So I was like, oh, do all these three stories over the span of time, does it have a common thread that's gonna link all of them up together towards the end, maybe?
There's no common thread other than the fact that I've named the Yakuza Syndicate the same in each story.
Okay.
Cool. Except I think in the 1890s one, maybe you don't get the name of it, but in the other ones where you actually see the headquarters and whatever, like it's the gang has the same name, but otherwise there's no like story connections. None of the characters are the same, and the stories are set 10 to 100 years apart.
Okay. Well, these are the two covers that you've got, variant A and variant B. And I got to admit, man, it's a hard call because I instantly went for B. But that A is really growing on me. What about you two? Which cover would you pick if you could only pick one?
The one with the monk.
Yeah. I was also going to pick the bloke that looks like me as well.
Yeah, look, I'll let the artist kind of do what they wanted with the covers. Christian is the one who drew the first story, and Harry drew the last story. And I was just like, Yakuza, anything you want for the cover. Because, I worked with these guys before. I really trust them. And I think they both came up with something really amazing. I call that first one Romeo is Bleeding. I don't know if you know the song or you've seen the movie. But, he's got a gut wound, but he's still smiling about it. And then the other one, like, there's so much story just in that image. Like he's a monk, but he's got Yakuza tattoos, and there's the sword, and there's like the Oni demon face. So it doesn't tie into any of the stories in the book, but I feel like I should write more. So I should write stories for these covers.
Let's have a look here. The Smiling Damn Yakuza is 32 pages, full color, with choice of 2 covers and 4 different stories. Do you want to tell us about the 4 different stories?
Yeah, all right. So Civilian, we spoke about. It's a revenge story about a lone gunman who follows some Yakuza back to their headquarters, following the funeral of one of their men who was his father. Tepodama. So this one's set in the 90s, and it's kind of a almost like a heist or a gang war type of story where we've got this like disgraced senior Yakuza who's given like all of the shittiest recruits and a suicide mission, basically like go and stop the shipment from this rival cartel. Otherwise you're all dead. So that's Tepodama, illustrated by Mike Athey. That story Mike and I did 20 years ago. And it was like in my second ever comic. I didn't have any audience and nobody saw it. And I really loved that story, and I really just wanted to bring it back. So when I was putting this book together, and I kind of realized, you know what, I've actually got 2 other Yakuza stories. This is my next Smiling Dan book. So I was super excited to bring that one in. You can see if you look at the story, like because it goes back 20 years, the page format is a little bit different. So the ratio of the artwork to the page is a little funny for that one, but yeah, I really that story, I guess there's a big influence from like Hong Kong cinema as well. On that one, especially like movies like Hard Boiled, if you ever saw like the John Woo, I really wanted to kind of do that, but bring that really like nihilistic Yakuza type of story, right, where every character's bad, everyone's going to meet a bad end, which is the Yakuza genre. If you've seen like any other movies or read any other books or whatever. So that's story number 2. If you scroll down, you'll see some of the pages from that one. And then number 3 is the Abashiri story. So set in the 1890s, and it's about a Yakuza heavy who is sent to this is the one here, this notorious prison in the far north of Japan. It's quite remote. Conditions are really terrible, but it's a kind of modern prison. So like if you've been to Port Arthur prison, like it's set up quite similarly. So it's like really super interesting, where you kind of see this like modern ideas about how to deal with prisoners, how to manage them, but also set in a really traditional Japanese type environment. Henry Pop is the artist on here. I'm probably best known from The List. Amazing local artist. I was really happy to get Henry to do this story. I think this setting also appears in the Golden Kamuy mangas, if you've read them. That's kind of set in this area in about that time zone, and there's a little bit of subplot kind of set in that prison. So that's the first 3 stories, and then the fourth one. The fourth story is a bit different to the others in tone and in execution. The fourth story is set not in a historical period. It's set in this kind of fantasy land, cyber noir future that is inhabited by my old recurring character, McBlack, who is a kind of detective, thug, murderer, saboteur for hire. And there's a sort of like noir type story. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to bring like that character who's like very much from that Western noir tradition, and that put him into a story about the Yakuza. So again, this character, I've done like quite a bit of stuff with him in the past. And I thought like, let's give him a mission for the Yakuza, and just have an opportunity to kind of to take the piss a little bit out of the really like serious and bleak stories that have come in the first half of the book. They're a bit unrelenting, like nobody cracks a joke. They're very, they're very serious and bleak. The McBlack stories are, the character talks to you and he's quite funny, and like it just just have a little bit of fun with it. Maybe even get a little bit of a unpleasant smile to close out the book. Of course, McBlack has a skull for a head also, so he's always smiling, and I think most certainly counts as one of the smiling damned. Whiteface McBlack, that's right.
What a name.
Cool.
Yeah, look, that character goes back a long time with me as well. When I was like first starting to do comics, I was like, when you start out, it's hard to get artists to work with you. And I was like, I want to do a graphic novel. Why don't I do, it needs to be something that I can draw, because I don't know that I can get an artist to go with me for, like 72 pages. And that was what I came up with. So I did that first graphic novel. There's a couple of one-shots and a bunch of other short stories around. There's a McBlack short story in that original Smiling Damned Supervillains book that you have on the screen there as well.
Yeah, explain what this is to people.
Okay, so this is the first Smiling Damned book. I don't call it number 1 because it's completely disconnected, right? And this is 4 short stories again about supervillains. So again, I did this book kind of pre-Kickstarter, but before I was involved in doing Kickstarters. So again, there's 3 stories. They are, I guess, going from the characters left to right. There's Mr. X, who you can see stealing pickpocketing the character in front of the prince. Mr. X is a former supervillain who has figured out that the best way to get ahead in crime is to take advantage of his supervillain connections without actually like putting on a costume and doing stuff. So, he will trigger some kind of a superhuman event, and he'll loot the corpses type of situation. Right? Everybody's looking at the guy with laser vision flying around, knocking down buildings, and he's like knocking over the jewelry store next door. So Mr. X, in the front and center is the Prince. So the Prince is a champion supervillain. He's like the best solo supervillain awarded supervillain for like 2 or 3 years in a row. And it's like instructions about how to be like that really good supervillain. So he tells you about what his powers are, but also how he stays on top, how he defeats the superheroes, and what advantages you have. But yeah, just how to get ahead in that supervillain game by Magnificent Daniel Watts. And then on the far right over there, that's Monochrome. So this is a character from Matt Kime's Bulletproof Kid superhero comics, if you remember. She's a villain. Matt kindly let me use the character, and she is a anti-environmentalist. So she's an alien from like a planet where everything's polluted, and she wants Earth to be like that as well. So she's undertaking this mission to kind of sabotage this facility, and she has lots of guns and knives, and she's a complete psychopath. Super fun, and of course Mick Black appears in that one as well.
Fantastic. What I love about this campaign as well is all the extra stuff that you've got, which we'll show. Sorry, did I cut somebody off then?
Oh, I just want to know if the supervillain still has the same page count as Yakuza.
I'm sorry, the same
page count.
I think it's a little bit shorter. I think it's like 24 pages.
Let's take a look here. You can get the PDF copy of Smiling Damned, and some tiers include a PDF copy of the original Smiling Damned supervillains. So, physical rewards, you can select your cover or covers as well as digital copies. Higher tiers include copies of the original Smiling Damned supervillain comic. X-Dimensional Assassin Zai Through the Unfolded Earth, a cross-genre adventure about a Yakuza assassin who pursues his targets to places that don't exist. Undersea kingdoms, secret space stations, dirigible cities, I think I said that right, fairy lands. No matter how far you run, Assassin Zai will find you once he's taken the opportunity to photograph the sights and try the local cuisine. So this is a novel you wrote.
It's a novel that I wrote. It was released a few years ago. It was a Ditmar Award finalist. And it's basically me doing like travel memoirs, but for places that don't exist, and with murder. So kind of, I used to write it kind of a bit like I write my travel journals, but in this case, me is this assassin who, they send him to places that don't exist to kill people. But, really he's just in it for the travel opportunities.
Sounds like dark tourism.
Yeah. It's, I guess it's business travel for him, but, I used to do a bit of business travel, and it was always like, I've got to go to this place and do a bunch of boring meetings, but also.
So we've also got.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, but also maybe I can sneak off and look at their sites. Yeah.
We'll have a look at all those different tiers in just a second here. But then you've also got all of these other. Like, this is what fascinated me. You've got so much work here that looks really cool as well that you can add on. I mean, Gourmand Go, the Six Smiths, McBlack Action Pack, Blood and Shadow Pack, Fairy Apocalypse. That's just, there's heaps, man.
Yeah, look, it's 20 years worth of backlist for my career as a professional writer. So some of it's comics, some of it's prose. I've at various times had, the ratio of comics to prose has varied, but I've got a lot of stuff that I guess some people like. So why not offer it as add-ons for this campaign?
So if we go to, hang on, let's see here. I'm just going to change pledge for a second just so we can have a look at the different ones. And just remember as well, Australians, that this is all in AUD, which means you don't need to convert, and shipping is probably going to be reasonable for once.
Yes.
Hooray.
I won't say shipping is cheap, but it's reasonable.
Yeah, well, it says $10. That's cheap in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aussie Post is a menace.
The selection that I've currently chosen is at the top because that's the one that I've chosen. So it'll show you that one first. But for $25, you can get the physical copy of Smiling Damned Yakuza Stories with that cover by Harry, plus a copy of the Smiling Damned Supervillain Stories, plus the PDFs and the script book. So for $25, I went bang. That's really a no-brainer.
Mm.
Thank you.
But there's also other ways to get it. Look at that. The cheapest option is $7. $7 for the PDF. That's a freaking bargain, man.
Yeah,
Sorry?
I was just going to say, I
Hope your dad's okay, Matty.
sorry. Yep.
All right, mate.
That's all right, Jason. As you were saying?
I was going to say I named all the reward tiers after like the Yakuza ranks that you get. So like when you come in as like a street punk or like a motorcycle gang member, and then as the rewards get more expensive, you get to like the top of the gangster hierarchy there.
Oh, well, now you're just messing with my ego. Now I have to get the expensive one. So for $10 only, you can get digital copy of the main book and the Supervillain Stories. For those that just want to dip your toe, maybe not commit $25 and get physical copies. For $10, you can get them both digitally. Again, an absolute freaking bargain. Otherwise, you can just get the cover A for $15, which also gives you the PDF as well. Or you can get for the same price cover B. You can also get for $18 Smiling Damned, the Yakuza cover A, the script book, and the Yakuza PDF script book. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. If you want the other cover, you can get that as well in another tier. For $25, that's the one that I've gotten. That's the one that I showed you first. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. No, that's different, isn't it? Coyote. Oh, I got the other cover. That's why.
Okay. B cover, yeah.
Yeah. And here we go now for $38. Look at all of that. Does Bo's actual gangster streak translate? Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
100%. Should see my dark glasses.
Now, this is where it really starts to get interesting. So for $68, not only do you get everything that I've mentioned previously, but you also get this novel that he's written as well, which I've got to admit, I'm starting to become more and more interested in.
It was a award finalist, which also means award loser. But I'm pretty proud of it.
Stay with finalist, mate. Finalist sounds super impressive.
For $140, which may sound like a lot compared to the $10 and $25, but when you do have a look at what you're getting for $140, it's still a bargain, man. You get Jason's full collection, 9 comics and graphic novels and 4 books, all the rewards from the lower tiers plus all the extras. That's pretty cool, man.
It's the whole shebang.
It's literally the boss tier, the Oyabun. And yes, they are prose novels. There was a question.
Yep.
Matt, yes, novels, man, as Aussieverse calls them, books.
Books.
Yep.
So if you're sick of pictures and you want to seem smarter,
pick up a
get the
book.
books.
There's a picture on the cover. You just keep looking at that.
And can I just say,
they're
I love the watercolor painted cover art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daniel Serra. I was really excited to get Daniel for that.
And now explain this one. $200
All right.
get you what?
So this is a writing workshop. If you're a writer and you want some professional development, I am available to workshop a story with you, like either a short story or a comic script up to like a single issue worth. I'll do a red line draft, give you like an hour of like live feedback, over Zoom or over coffee or, in some back alley if that's what you prefer. I don't normally offer these types of services. So yeah, just an opportunity for people to get a bit of an editor's eye on the work that they're doing. And of course you get like most of the rewards with this as well.
That's cool.
And I also tell you as well, like, I just love Australian Kickstarters, man, because in previous Kickstarters where I've seen something like this similar, you're looking at like $500-$600, and I don't know how to price that, but from somebody like with my experience, I'll look at that and I go, man, that is so much, But for $200, that's pretty cool, man. And I'm really happy that somebody's taken you up on that too.
Yeah, repeat customer as well. And I've done this like I used to teach like comics writing, and I've done some like manuscript assessment work in the past, but it's not something that I focus on or offer like on a regular basis. So it just seems like this is a good opportunity to do it and get the work in front of some people.
Yeah, man. Steve Sharif, this could be our opportunity to write that Aussieverse romance novel that we were talking about.
What?
The
right.
three-way one.
Yeah, don't tell everyone the title's called Three-Way on the Freeway.
And as the Mac brothers would say, this is gone.
It's gone, baby, gone.
Original art print. You know what? That would look really cool, man. That cover.
Yeah.
That's an art print.
I've got it sitting in my cupboard over here, just waiting to send it to the backer. It's beautiful cover painting.
Nice little comment there, Mr. Franks. Great diversity and value in your reward tiers.
Thank you, Matt H. I almost never do the same thing twice, so like maybe that's a disadvantage in a career as a writer, but also I think it means that there's stuff to appeal to a bunch of different people.
People love new stuff, mate. So doing the same thing all the time, people are just going to go, I can get that again and get that again. But just to mix it up is really cool.
Yeah, thank you. I get bored easily, so everything's very different.
And you're so close to your stretch goal with 12 days to go. How does that make you feel? Does that make you really happy, or does that make you really nervous? Bit from column A and a bit from column B. Like I'm sure we'll hit the goal. But it's nerve-wracking watching it like tick up slowly. Yeah, man.
But I've done this before. It's always a good feeling when it when you get to that 100%, and then you can start going like, what can I add to this? And I've probably spoiled already in this podcast what I probably will do for stretch goals. if you were listening carefully, it's nice to see it's going well.
He said back alley, people. FYI.
That wasn't what I was referring to, but pick it up.
I love how Kickstarter now, for some reason, makes me a stalker of Darren Zen Close. So it always tells me what Darren's backing. So if you're watching this, Darren, I know what you're buying.
Darren
big supporter of Australian comics, Darren. Good guy.
He helped me run my first Kickstarter campaign. I couldn't have done that without him. Yeah, I learned so much from Darren about how to do this and make it a success.
Yeah, man, Killaroo all the way.
Yeah, big thanks to Darren, and we are working on a Killaroo story now as well, which
nice.
You'll probably see the pre-launch for it.
I really get scared that other people get the notifications of what I'm buying.
Though in his questionable purchases.
Paranoid.
Yeah, man. So, okay, so is this going to just be a one and done, or have you got other stories for a second one?
Third.
It's probably it for the Yakuza stories. Although I'd love to do some more, but I think like next Smiling Damned, if I do one, will be about the female monster, and I've got some stories backed up that might go into that.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay.
So each one is a bit, different, and again, just always putting the villain or a villain as the protagonist of the story. Just what I like.
I dig that. I like bad guys a lot.
They're
bad
the best,
girl.
right?
Or bad
Is
girl.
Bad
Yeah.
girls, yeah.
Is your approach for spelling them as a way of not looking at superheroics comics anymore? It's because you're looking at on the flip side.
Yeah. So look, I always like just enjoy watching the bad guys do their thing. I like, if you look at like what I like to read crime comics or crime. I like crime fiction, but I don't really like mystery. I'm not so interested in the police and the detectives. I'm interested in seeing the criminals, like how they put together, how they put together something and how they execute it and then deal with the consequences of it. And I mean, the thing I really love about villains is that they are planners. Like a lot of the time you look at, heroes, especially in like, superhero type fiction or just a lot of like thrillers and stuff. They are, they exist to thwart bad guys. You know what I mean? Like that's their job is like, someone bad is trying to do something. I need to stop them. I'm more interested in the like, I'm a bad guy. I'm planning something. I'm going to, figure out this heist. I'm going to build it. I'm going to try and take care of their contingencies. And I'm going to, I'm going to execute a plan, which, for me in my day job as a, engineer type of person, I love to build stuff. And I like villains because they're trying to build something, maybe something bad, but they've got some plan that they want to do.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I've never thought about when talking about heroes and villains that villains are proactive and heroes are reactive.
This has just blown my mind. I've never thought of that in my life.
Yeah, like if you look at like the Star Wars movies, especially like the the original trilogy, right? Darth Vader is the most popular character in that trilogy, and he's absolutely the villain. And I think that's because whenever he appears, something happens, like the plot changes, or there's a twist, or something unexpected takes place. Like he is, in a lot of ways, like driving that narrative. So yeah, look, that's one of the reasons I really like these kind of characters. I also like characters that sort of betray you in a way. Like you want to, you might not like them, but you want to see what they do. And then when they do something you don't like, to make you understand, like why did this character do the wrong thing?
Motives.
Yeah. Well, what is it about them? Because most, like, I think most villains probably don't believe that they're evil. I'm going to do this because I'm evil and I have a twirly mustache, and I don't think exactly right. I generally don't think that's a good villain. The villain is someone who wants something. I think, and maybe it's just their way of going about getting it is wrong, or is the morality is different. Maybe they don't have any morals is the other thing, right? Maybe they're a psychopath or a sociopath, and it's about them. But I don't think that they're like going around like, I'm going to wear a black cloak and be evil for the sake of that.
Matty, that's very deep for a Saturday morning over here, mate.
Yeah.
There is
Sorry,
no
can you
corrupted version of good.
Can you tell our it's a lot of coffee.
I'm still trying to get over this whole bad guys make plans.
Yeah.
Heroes don't. That's just, I want to get that on a shirt. That's fantastic.
That Prince story in the first Smiling
Trademark.
Dan is all about that. It's all about
Trademark it both. Quick.
that. Yeah, go for it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to get this, man. I can't wait to get it in my hands. When's the fulfillment month?
So as soon as the Kickstarter's done, like the book is done, obviously it's pretty much ready to go. There'll be a little bit of formatting and then I'll tee up a print run. So we're probably looking like 2-3 months just in terms of getting the logistics of getting the book to me and getting it shipped. I also have to deal with backers overseas, and I'll probably do like print on demand. So I'll print and ship their books overseas. But yeah, it shouldn't be long. Shouldn't be long after the end of the Kickstarter. It's all, all the creative work is done. It's just a matter of packaging it up and getting it in the post.
That's
what kind of response are we looking at for overseas backers?
What kind of response? I think it's something like 20-25%.
It's pretty high.
Of the backers.
That's really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's pretty good. Some of those will be digital backers, but because I do for those backers, I do print on demand, and I try and print in their region or close to their region. Like shipping is low, and actually a lot of the overseas backers don't get access to some of the rewards that Aussies do, but for a lot of them, shipping is a lot less because they're not paying Australia Post prices for that.
Man,
well,
cool.
I think every Australian creator needs a big round of applause because it is such a uphill battle and it is so hard, from my experience, to not only create the thing in the first place, but to actually see it through. So well done, man. Really well done. And, as an Australian, I'm proud of you. I know how hard it is. So good work.
Oh, thank you. I had a publisher in the past whose motto was too mean to quit, too stupid to die. And I've just taken that to heart. Just gonna keep doing it. just gonna keep doing it.
Fantastic. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about to do with this or anything else, Jace?
No, look, I just wanted to say thanks to you guys. This is absolutely one of the most fun podcasts that I've ever been on.
Stop it.
You guys are diamond geezers. Yeah, thank you so much for having me, ask me some really great questions, and for backing. Yeah, look, just all the support that you give the Aussie comics community. It's invaluable. As you've said, it's hard being so remote and so far out of time zone. So yeah, big thanks to you guys.
Pleasure, mate.
I do see a guitar behind you though.
Oh, there's two.
Oh, yeah, you're a bit of a loser.
I play, but not in front of people. So I like to turn it up, but usually when the house is empty, and I haven't played in a band since I was in high school.
Most important question, mate. What are you into?
So some metal, classic metal, a lot of thrash, Faith No More, Metallica, Iron Maiden. There you go.
All right.
That's my jam.
Answer, Jason.
Yeah, that's my
awesome.
Jam.
I say that, but The Greatest Showman's my favorite movie, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, this has been Aussieverse. This has been Jason, and this is the Smiling Dan, Yakuza Stories, baby. We're going to ask Jason the most important question of the night, even though Steve said that his question just then was the most important one. He lied. We'll be back in just a sec after a word from our sponsor.
Comic Bookaroo, proud sponsors of Aussieverse for all your comic book needs. Graphic novels, hardcovers, omnibuses, single issues. Don't forget to pre-order every Sunday at Comic Bookaroo.
It is every Monday, not every Sunday, but Sharif doesn't know how to fix the video. Neither does Steve. So
of course I don't.
Fault. If anybody wants to fix that video for us and just change Sunday to Monday, that'd be really cool. Thank you very much. Jason, The most important question of the night, brother, is what is Aussieverse?
Aussieverse is for life.
Yeah. There you go. That's right, mate. Thank you very much for joining us, Jason. You are welcome here any single time, brother. I can't wait to get your work in my pretty little hands and I get to read it and show the world your stuff. Can't wait to have you back on, dude.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here.
Nice to see you again, mate.
We'll catch you next time.